The inauguration perimeter is going up sooner than originally planned. This comes as the FBI warned of potential armed protests in the district and at state capitals nationwide this weekend. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is live in Northwest with details on that. And Bob, I was driving through the city yesterday and even to work this morning, and the perimeters are everywhere.
Yeah, you can't miss them anywhere around the downtown area, the Capitol, along the mall. What you're finding are these white jersey walls, a lot of police, like you see behind me, D.C. police and other agencies. This is Connecticut Avenue and K Street. And as you look across K Street, that's 17th. Heading toward the mall, and you see they've got kind of like an obstacle course here. Some people who can show their ID and have work down here are being allowed to drive through. Otherwise, it's highly fortified, not only here around the White House. This, again, is K Street from like 14th to 19th, but also around the Capitol and along the National Mall. And we're told that if you have a car in a garage inside one of these areas, these zoned off areas, and it's not out by 8 o'clock tomorrow, your car will remain in that garage until after the inauguration. Now, I want to show you an image from up by the Capitol, a high-up view of the Capitol. At the bottom of the screen there, you see some of the National Guard troops that are already in town. We're expecting some 10,000 National Guard troops from a number of states here for the inauguration. 4 years ago, we were told there were roughly 8,000 National Guard troops, so 2,000 more at least planned at this point. And now I want to show you a live picture up at the Naval Observatory. This is the Vice President's residence there, Massachusetts Avenue at 34th Street. That is New Jersey Wall and some of that 7-foot-tall fencing that has gone up overnight, obviously to protect the vice president. So very heady stuff here. The U.S. Secret Service is in charge of security, and this National Special Security Event, NSSE, which normally would go from a day before the inauguration to a day after, has started now. Started last night on the 12th, will go to the 24th. So almost a 2-week-long security event because of the trouble that we saw last week, that's been threatened against state capitals, that the authorities are preparing for in the days ahead. Back here at Farragut Square, we spoke to a gentleman on his way to work this morning who was caught by surprise by all of this.
I'm aware now. I saw the police yesterday blocking off roads, but I didn't know they were going to be here. So, well, not like this. I had to park on by Chinatown just to catch the metro and come down.
What do you make of this because of the inauguration and the threats of violence?
Really, because of the threats of violence, I believe. That's where we are in today's society, unfortunately. I mean, it's important to protect the president, so I deem it necessary, but it's still crazy and hectic.
And again, it is the Secret Service, Jeanette, that is in charge of all this security. Just keep in mind these wide security perimeters basically around the White House, even though we're at Farragut Square, wide around the White House, the Capitol, and along the National Mall.
Yeah, the Secret Service leading what is a collaborative effort with a lot of different agencies for this event. Bob, I'm curious, has the pandemic changed the way security efforts are being organized?
Well, it's funny. I mean, things haven't looked the way they normally would down here. We've been down at this intersection, Connecticut and K, a number of times during the pandemic. I mean, it's usually deserted, more so now. I did get a chance to speak to some of the Secret Service officials in charge of security, and they say they've been planning for this for like a year plus, and over many of these months, considering the pandemic and what all that means. And the sense I got, where they couldn't say specifically their plans, was that it really isn't changing anything in terms of security, but just how they're going about it, you know, wearing face masks, a lot of their security personnel, to keep themselves safe.
Right. They've been doing this for many decades. They aren't new to this, and certainly security, and, you know, from their perspective, is always heightened. They prepare for any possible scenario. And the pandemic they've been preparing for a long time. All right, Bob, thank you.